Yes. Hello. Do you want to start? Would you like to start? Oh, baby. Oh. Oh, you too? Here, you won't have to jump that high. Oh, sweet baby. Okay. Hey everyone, we are here at the Plastorm event with Portland Open Studios, the Open Studio, and we are here just with the artist and wandering around this like really cool setup you have. I really love all of the detail, like you can get lost in here. Can you tell us just how you kind of got started and you know what you're working on right now?
So what changed my life is literally getting this house. Getting this house and having a garage for the first time in my life where I didn't have to worry about making a mess changed everything, because I was able to work by myself, not have to worry about messes or anything. And then I literally was like, I think something's, for the first time in my life, I was like, I think I might be onto something here. And within a couple years from starting in that very cold garage, I had sold enough paintings to build that studio.
Oh,
so
nice.
Literally it changed everything. And so it has now blossomed into not only the studio, but then the Robot Alley and the robots that came as a solution to the crime and the activity that was going on back there. And it was like, again, if it was your typical crime or whatever, I could care less, but it was the mess that would be made back there, and the eerie sounds and everything, and that's what kind of was the catalyst for me to start building the things and the activity back there, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. And so you're working with a lot of electronics. I mean, you are literally multimedia and multi-dimensional, and you're transcending in so many different directions. What is, what would be the genre? Like, what if you had to kind of really say where you are?
I have a name for it. I call it cluster punk.
Cluster punk, yes. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes,
because it is.
It embodies that.
Because it's like there's no grand design unless it's a commission. There is no grand design to what I do. I literally go by the dictation from whatever it is that gets sent, and then that the main question I get asked by a lot of artists is that how do you know when something's done? I know when it's done because it stops talking. Because it stops with the dictation, or it stops with the orders. And so I am not mystical or spiritual, but painting and all this stuff is the most mystical and spiritual thing I've ever encountered, because these things want to be something. They want to, and it's taught me legends I didn't know existed, stories I didn't know were there, like everything you can possibly imagine that just is unearthed by this creative process, and it's the magic that just keeps me going.
Amazing. I love that. Can you tell us what you're working on right now?
Yeah, so this is an example of what I'm working on now. I'm not sure if can you see that with the light? Mm-hmm. So basically, I've been working on this for over a year. It has probably, I would say at this point, about 25 to 30 layers. And when I say layers, is that I will work on something, and then when I want to lock it in, I will spray it with a clear acrylic spray, and then cover it with clear gesso. That locks that layer in. So that process has happened about 25 to 30 times at this point. Not only that, because that mysterious order platform wanted some kind of topography, so now it's got hardened clay that gives it that rise. And so literally you're looking at every possible medium you can imagine, from airbrush, spray paint, oil paint, acrylic paint, ink, fine liners, colored pencil. I've left it out in the sun for weeks. I've battered it. I've rubbed sand in it to give it that kind of like a discovered kind of feel. Mm-hmm. But that's how it works. And so this is an example, again, of something I've worked on for over a year, and it's almost there. Now I'm in that phase of taking things away. So this used to be a bunch of stuff about 3 days ago. I've now taken away, and now I'm in the process of muting this right here. Does that mean that something won't be added there later? No, because that's just what it dictates. But this is a great example of something that's almost there. It hasn't revealed the title or the narrative yet, but that will come. And then when it comes, it's usually like I'll be listening to something or watching something or whatever, and lightning will strike, and it's like, that's it. and then that's all. That's what That's the narrative and the title that this thing will be.
Brilliant, brilliant. I really enjoy your process. Can you tell us where people can find you and connect with your pieces?
Yeah, so I have a website, plastorm.com, and also if they're interested in the robot side of things with Robot Alley, Robot Alley has its own Google page with reviews and everything. I didn't start it, I had to take ownership of it. I'm not the person who named it Robot Alley. I wish I could thank that person, but it's also a great way to find the location of the robots as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Plastorm Studio, Halo 2, Atura, Robot Alley, Halo 3, exit through the Plastormian gift shop, inflatable.
So what you're seeing here is Robot Alley. Yeah, so and especially if it's dangerous, it's causing trouble. Is this CIA approved?
Hey, welcome to another episode of Cheechable LIVN. I'm your host Cheech, and we're here at the Lloyd Center again. We're here looking at spectral entropy by the CETI group. I'm really excited because it's a bunch of folks who are kind of nerding out on electronics and immersive design. So let's go see what it's all about.
All the artists were just floating in different dances. Try turning around, just on sort of like smooth.
That's perfect.
Enraptured in rock and roll ecstasy, I scribbled sublime verse through the darkest hours of night. But alas, they appeared only as nonsensical rhyme in the yellow of the morning. I had wandered aimlessly, having donned the awe-inspiring black cloak of modern English lyric.
Hey, we are at Gallery 114 today. We're gonna watch a really cool art performance. So join us as we go down to the gallery and expose ourselves to art. It's been really great putting on this show, so thanks to all the artists that are here that are part of the show, and thank you all for being here, and thank you Elaine for performing for us today. I initially came across Aline's sculptural work, which is amazing, so you should definitely look that up. And when I found out they were also a musician, and I thought it would be great to invite them to do a performance in this space. Some of the things that they say about their work is that they use noise, performance, and sculptural installation to bring forth a disruptive wisdom embedded in the metaphors of stone and the earth's many magical and transformative geologic processes, and that neolith is sonic material unearthed, extricated, conjured from a vast internal geography. Noise artifacts emerge and give record to a layered and dense ground, lithified through the slow pressures of time and witness. So I really think it works well with this show and how we're looking to the world around us that's so alive and animate, to kind of understand ourselves as well, and so I think it kind of really works with the rest of the show. I'm gonna let Aline go ahead with it, but stick around afterwards because we have our augmented reality piece that we're all going to activate together. So thank you.
start with ceramics first, or did you start with music and sound first, or did they sort of like grow at the same time?
Interesting. I mean, I played instruments like as a child, but not very well. And so I think that was definitely before ceramics, and I've always had an interest, but I think I kind of picked back up and had more of an interest in like noise, like droney sort of stuff, like later into me already having a ceramics practice and wanting to kind of like build out an installation and have like a sound aspect to it that kind of would place these objects in a space and give more, I don't know, just kind of more life to them. I think it's interesting, like a lot of art just like exists in silence, and I think it's a field that is not explored enough to kind of like give your pieces a sound, which is, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, well, and it may just be because I'm like familiar with your ceramic work, but it's like this, the sounds really, they sound like the shapes that your work is in.
I try. I think definitely the relation is in kind of trying to create these like guttural, like within the earth sounds and like things shifting and moving and like rocks rubbing together. Like I think that's always in the back of my mind of like sounds I enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the like geology kind of metaphors when you talk about the work, and you know, like it kind of does add another dimension. Like I think a lot of the show is looking at, you know, like ecology, like plants, animals, fungi and everything, but I think it's also like, you know, the stratum that we're on, like the earth is a part of that as well. It's just kind of like on a different time scale. And so
Yeah,
I really love that.
Yeah, I think this show has been really awesome because it kind of, I feel like all the work here sort of has this really internal, like natural quality about it, like kind of, I don't know, like translating these processes, which we see as kind of like existing without ourselves, like as something that really informs the way that we think and like are really heavily tied to our emotions and kind of like give form to things that are usually unseen. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but this has been really awesome.
Yeah, and I feel like everyone's work in the show just has like so much depth and so many layers, and everyone's got such a, you know, such this practice of either just research or making that's, you know, it goes all these layers deep, and so it's been just great getting to know all the work in the show.
Yeah, I'm glad to look, or excited to look around after I haven't gotten to see much, but
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
Sorry,
Go with that one if you want.
I felt like during your performance too, this sort of like time shift or like shift in perception of time that I think I get with like a lot of the work in here too. And I love this idea of like, yeah, challenging this like silence in art spaces, and it's just, yeah.